LG Electronics traces its origins back to 1958, when it was founded in South Korea under the name GoldStar. This period was one of the most difficult in Korean history. The country was emerging from a devastating civil war, the Korean War, from 1950 to 1953, and desperately needed to rebuild. The infrastructure was destroyed, the economy was in collapse, and most consumer goods were imported. It was in this context that GoldStar emerged, as part of the Lucky Group conglomerate founded by Koo In-Hwoi, one of the great entrepreneurs of the time. The idea was clear. Korea needed a national electronics industry to guarantee technological independence and stimulate the country's growth. GoldStar became the first South Korean electronics company with the mission to design and manufacture electronic products accessible to the Korean population. Its initial focus was basic but extremely relevant to create devices that could improve people's daily lives.
Breaking news.
In 1959, GoldStar produced the first transistor radio made in Korea, the A501 model. This was a national milestone. The radio was one of the few forms of communication and entertainment at the time, and the possibility of owning a domestically made device with its own technology represented a huge step for national pride and autonomy. Producing this radio was not simple. Korea at the time had no advanced industrial experience, and GoldStar had to import components, train engineers, and build its own assembly lines practically from scratch. Even so, it managed to bring the product to market in record time. Besides the radio, by the late 1950s, GoldStar began developing other electronic products such as electric fans and telephone receivers, paving the way for what would come in the following decades: refrigerators, televisions, and other appliances. GoldStar also invested in research and development from the start, something rare in Korea at that time. This allowed it to be considered the country's leading electronics company by 1960, becoming a symbol of innovation, patriotism, and hope for the Korean people. This initial period up to 1960 was essential to laying the foundation for what years later would become LG Electronics, a global technology giant. In 1961, GoldStar launched its first domestic rotary telephone, marking another important step in modernizing the country's communications. In the following years, the company focused on expanding its product line, responding to growing demand for electronic devices in Korean society. In 1962, GoldStar began exporting electronic products to Vietnam, a bold move that marked the start of the company's international expansion. In 1965, another milestone arrived, the first refrigerator fully produced in South Korea. This consolidated GoldStar's reputation as a pioneer in home appliances. During this period, the first black and white TVs were also launched, a revolutionary product that quickly spread through Korean households. In 1966, GoldStar began mass production of televisions, becoming the domestic market leader. At the same time, it launched its first washing machine and air conditioners, broadening its appliance portfolio and consolidating its position as Korea's main electronics company. During the late 1960s, GoldStar strengthened its mass production capabilities, investing in modern factories and development centers. This infrastructure allowed greater efficiency and product quality. The 1970s started with another important step. In 1970, GoldStar launched South Korea's first color television, marking the beginning of the color TV era in the country. This was a significant technical advance and positioned the company among the most innovative in Asia. In 1973, GoldStar opened a subsidiary in the United States, expanding its global presence and taking its products to the highly competitive but opportunity-rich North American market. Also, in the early 1970s, the company expanded into new fields such as industrial equipment and automation, and began developing semiconductor technologies, a field that would later become essential for the company. Starting in 1976, GoldStar entered a new growth phase. With success in the domestic market and a growing international presence, the company invested heavily in industrial automation, quality improvement, and increased production capacity. In 1977, it launched its first videocassette recorder, keeping pace with the global evolution of home entertainment. This was an important step for making the brand relevant outside Asia, especially in the US and Europe. By the late 1970s, GoldStar focused on building automated factories and research and development centers, anticipating a new era of the electronics industry based on innovation and scale. In the 1980s, GoldStar intensified its internationalization strategy. In 1982, it opened its first factory in the United States, located in Alabama. This strategic decision allowed it to better serve the U.S. market and reduce logistical costs. During this period, the company launched various standout products such as more compact video recorders and players, home stereo sound systems, basic computer monitors, and personal computers. Additionally, GoldStar began developing telecommunications and computing technologies, preparing for the digital future. By the late 1980s, GoldStar realized the world was changing rapidly. The digital revolution was underway, and Asian companies like Sony and Panasonic were gaining more strength. To compete, GoldStar invested heavily in advanced research, product design, and improving its brand image in the West. Highlights of this period included launching thinner TVs with remote controls, developing proprietary chips and semiconductors, and expanding computer and peripheral lines. In 1990, the company began preparing a complete rebranding and corporate identity overhaul, which would culminate a few years later with the merger with Lucky Chemical and the official creation of LG, or Lucky GoldStar, unifying all business areas under a single, modern, and global brand. By 1991, GoldStar was already a consolidated brand in South Korea and some international markets, but was still seeking global prominence among the world's tech giants. To achieve this, it began a deep corporate restructuring and rebranding process, preparing the way for a more modern and competitive global identity. That year, the company continued heavy investment in research and development, focusing on digital products and wireless communication, which were emerging as the future of technology. It also significantly increased investment in industrial design, understanding that product aesthetics were becoming as important as functionality. In 1992, GoldStar launched new models of televisions, sound systems, and smart appliances, integrating more efficient technologies and simplified user interfaces. It also began actively participating in international fairs and exhibitions such as the Consumer Electronics Show in the United States, gaining recognition outside Asia. 1993 was a decisive year. The company underwent a strategic change. The Lucky GoldStar Group decided to unify its operations and rebrand. Thus, LG was officially born, a new global brand formed from the initials of Lucky and GoldStar, with a new philosophy focused on modernization, innovation, and internationalization. With the new name came a new logo featuring a smiling face inside a circle, representing humanity, technology, global reach, and the future. LG Electronics became the new identity for the group's technology branch, covering all areas: home appliances, consumer electronics, telecommunications, and information technology. In 1995, LG took an important step by officially entering the mobile phone market, which was gaining global strength. The company launched its first GSM and CDMA cell phone models, marking its entry into mobile telecommunications. That same year, LG acquired Zenith Electronics, a traditional American TV manufacturer, consolidating its presence in the US and gaining access to cutting-edge digital broadcasting technology. Also in 1995, LG opened R&D Centers in the United States, Europe, and Japan, increasing its innovation capacity and tailoring products to the demands of regional markets. The company's globalization accelerated. During 1996 and 1997, LG expanded its line of mobile phones, computer monitors, notebooks, and digital devices, such as DVDs and surround sound systems. It also solidified its position as one of the largest LCD screen manufacturers at the time. Simultaneously, it faced the challenges of the 1997 Asian financial crisis, which shook South Korea's economy. Nevertheless, LG maintained its growth and international expansion strategy, betting on quality and innovation to weather the crisis. In 1998, LG launched its first digital TV and reinforced its commitment to display technology development, especially flat panels, anticipating the future of slim, high-definition TVs. It also intensified research into mobile platforms, semiconductor chips, and digital connectivity. 1999 was marked by LG entering new strategic partnerships with global technology companies to develop technologies for third-generation or 3G cell phones and network equipment. This preparation was fundamental for LG to compete in the global telecom market in the coming years. By the end of the decade, in 2000, LG was a multinational company with a solid presence in dozens of countries, recognized for its innovative products and modern design. The company closed the millennium as one of Asia's leaders in electronics, telecommunications, and information technology, ready to face the challenges of the new century with a solid technological base and a globally recognized brand. In 2001, LG was already a globally recognized brand, investing heavily in innovation and design. In 2004, it launched the slogan, "Life's Good," which helped strengthen its international identity. In 2007, the company revolutionized the market by launching the LG Prada, the first cell phone with a fully touch-sensitive screen, anticipating trends that would dominate smartphones. At the same time, LG expanded its leadership in LCD and plasma TVs. In 2009, LG began developing OLED technology for TVs, which became its main market differentiator. In 2011, it presented its first OLED TVs to the public, receiving global recognition for quality and innovative design. Between 2015 and 2020, LG integrated artificial intelligence into its products through the LG ThinQ platform, connecting devices such as refrigerators, washing machines, robotic vacuum cleaners, and smart TVs. Despite this, the smartphone market was a big challenge. Even with praised models like the LG G2 and G3, the company faced strong competition and sales declines. In 2021, faced with ongoing losses, LG made the difficult decision to exit the smartphone market to focus on promising areas like artificial intelligence, smart homes, robotics, digital health, and electric vehicle technology. Since then, the company has stood out in the automotive sector, supplying batteries, infotainment systems, and sensors to global automakers. Today, in 2025, LG is present in more than 100 countries, a world leader in OLED TVs, and recognized for innovation in connected and sustainable solutions, preparing the future of technology for millions of people worldwide. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell.